So James is having a mushroom sort of red ruby mushroom soup over there with avocado in it, and the lupin waffles, blueberries, his daily greens iced tea. And I actually like this ice cube tray the best.
It pops out, does it, with that lever?
Yeah.
Good.
And this is my salad. So it's pretty exciting salad. There's avocado, red sales lettuce, walnuts, dried cherries that I made, and feta with a balsamic vinegar. And this here is the smallest bag so far that I dried in one day, and that's 123 grams of cherries.
It looks really pro, eh?
Yeah.
You did a great job there.
So this one got top of the stack. It's probably my thyroid. And then this one. And then Mork Mindy, the first disc of the 4th season.
Yeah.
So
it's
we'll
too
talk
bad
about
it's
that.
far down that far.
Yeah, I know.
We don't have to talk about them.
Yeah, well, we will.
Yeah. So, you know, like this iced tea thing, a lot of ingredients in it. But on a day like today, there's some great ingredients. The most important ingredient
is the ice. So if you slurp that by, that's why I took this out, because I thought, well, it's melting fast. You can see the ice cubes were a lot bigger, and now there's a lot of water in here. But it'll be cold water. Can you kind of push those ice cubes in there?
I'm a little afraid of overshooting the mark, but there we go.
Oh, and ending up with a lap full of ice cube?
Well, I wouldn't mind that.
That might be nice on a day like today.
Might be a relative relief.
So anyway, I'll just push that like that.
Use treatment like that, like Warren Beatty back in the day.
I don't have a special outfit today. I don't care. Anyway.
It's just get through a day like today is the way I look at it.
So the reason this is so small, this bag, like the first day I had 248 grams, and this is 123 grams. So what I did...
That's less than half.
Okay. But what happened here is I tried to follow the instructions for that they gave in the machine with the dehydrator, and the instructions, like they say to dry your cherries halfway through before you pit them, and then it'll be less messy. Well, I found it's messy anyway, like not less messy, it's messy. And plus pitting the cherries halfway through was I ended up with more of the fruit stuck to the pit, so I wasted a lot of fruit. So then that's why this ended up so light compared to the first day. So I know that's what the instructions say, but that is not what I'm doing, because the whole point of drying the cherries is to preserve the fruit. If I'm just like throwing most of it back into the garden because it's stuck to the pit, well, that's silly. So, and plus, not to gross out everyone, but at this time of year, I only have a very short window for it, because my cherry tree, it's organic, and I only have a very short window of harvest, because the cherries will have, each one will have a maggot in it if I take too long. And so it's now at the point where I have to watch out for them, and so I really have to pit first before I put them in I don't have an option now. But I wanted to try out the way to do it as according to the instructions, and yeah, it's maybe just as messy, and it's not worth it. But anyway, so
now this can be used, this dehydrator could be used for a lot of different dehydration jobs. Right?
Yes.
Not just food?
No, it said even chicken. You can make chicken jerky in the thing. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard of, but I guess maybe some people do that, or it wouldn't be on the instructions for how. So there's instructions for how to do that. If you borrow the dehydrator, if you're in Lethbridge, you borrow it from the Library of Things at the public library, main branch.
Might as well get your money's worth out of them because
Why
they're
not
wasting
try?
a lot of it on
Well,
other things.
there's a lot of great things in the Library of Things that I don't even know what all is there. I don't even know if there's a way to find out what's there unless you just go in and look around and go, oh, there's something there right now, right? Because I don't know if you can access it on like in a catalog or anything like that, which is too bad because I have no idea what they have in the Library of Things. I just ask them, do you have this? And sometimes they do. But anyway, so how's your soup today?
It tastes very good with the lupin waffles.
Oh, good. So it's too salty.
No, I was just doing that in case it was a little warm.
Okay.
I don't like burning my tongue. But I wanted to start it off because it did smell nice. And, if I smell something, I don't have a great sense of smell, as you've noticed. I'm seeing a cute bird up in that tree.
Yeah, I was seeing someone hopping around too. Mostly I was chasing butterflies. I saw a few birds, but I wasn't chasing birds.
Yeah.
Lately I've been chasing butterflies. I don't know, I'm in a butterfly mood.
Did you see the eagle?
Didn't see him
I
today.
think it came flying in when I was talking to those one time with the toucan.
Yeah, they saw bull snake, but I did not today.
Yeah, so they mentioned that too.
I've just seen a lot of butterflies.
I prefer not to see the bull snakes, just knowing they're there is enough.
This is delicious salad, by the way. So I don't know if the balsamic vinegar is going to give me a headache. We'll find out. But I figured I knew it would taste good.
Like this.
So.
Oh, okay. Let's see what tomorrow.
It's a very small salad. We'll see. And it's so delicious. It's incredible.
That family was the first time they'd been down in Alexander Wilderness. They'd been
Really?
to the turtle pond. They came from the west side.
First time and they see a bull snake.
Saw bull snake,
Welcome
and
to
they
Alexander
spotted
Wilderness.
the eagle. They got the
Wonderful.
father spotted the eagle. I told them where the eagle was a regular customer there. I said it was kind of like his supermarket. Shopping for food.
And grind up all my flax. It's
But
hot.
they'd heard about it from other people.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a
the
great park.
best hiking park in Lethbridge.
For sure.
Close is what we call the turtle pond, but that's all wetlands.
Yep.
One drag about it is part of the trail is bike friendly. The other half or more of it is not.
It's not, and people just
Doesn't seem to make a difference to cyclists.
And they decide, oh, well, I'm going to do it everywhere in here.
They say a certain percentage of our population is functionally illiterate. Why does it have to be cyclists, though? Yeah. When you're a cyclist, check and double check signs. See if you're allowed to go,
So I thought I was holding my weight at 104 pounds. I was going, some days it was 104.6, sometimes 104, sometimes 4.8, and I thought, okay, well, we're good. Because that was going strong for over a week. It was just staying around there. Today, 103.8. So, I don't know.
When did you
We'll see
weigh?
what
This morning or after
Yeah,
that?
this morning.
Well, you might have sweated a lot out.
Yeah, I probably am lighter right now.
Yeah. When I used to play soccer, it was not unusual for me to lose over 10 pounds in terms of sweat. I had 160 down to 158. I don't think I'm exaggerating.
Anyway, the fourth season, or I don't know if the writers felt like they were running out of ideas, or they just wanted to run out of ideas, or what. But
Inexcusable.
they can't get married. Why?
Ever.
Ever.
On a
They
variety
can't ever happen.
Variety of comedy show. And this one in particular, this guy's like a teenage boy / kid. And this is a grown woman. You know, like he doesn't have a job. It's not a fact that he's an alien. He doesn't have a job. He's still learning the ropes.
Yeah,
around
so
the world.
it's not. Yeah, it's creepy, really, for her to marry.
In a certain way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I realize he's a genius. I don't know. In
Robin
some ways.
Williams himself. They tried to make up for it by having a kid right away. Right away.
Mm-hmm.
There's Jonathan Winters, who's lots of people think highly of. I didn't care for him much when I was a kid, but...
well, he's playing the role well.
Yeah. But that's not really his strength. His forte is jumping from one thing to another.
Yeah.
Apparently he was Robin Williams' big inspiration.
And they could have had him do that with that age vacation device. I can't remember what it was called from the
Pauline
first episode.
thought of that. So having him grow up or
and
grow
have them,
down or
have to
whatever.
hide it all the time because he might misuse it or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that way he could have been jumping around from one essentially character to another, but as Robin Williams did so well. But no, they didn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Such is Hollywood. That's a shame. I always figured he was wasted in that. And I must have been watching it, the few snippets that I watched later on, because he was quite good in the first year or whatever.
Oh, they are.
Or maybe they just take it more
That's
down.
good. I didn't want to see that toddler get squished.
Anyway, yeah. The little
it's
snippets
cute.
I saw, I thought he was wasted in this show, and ultimately I think he was.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this show, Robin Williams was wasted on this show. It just...
That's what I mean.
Yeah. So they had two good actors on the show that were wasted. And plus they had, what's that guy's name? Is it,
Mr. Beckley?
Excalibur or something? Or Dor?
Orson?
No.
Oh!
Yeah.
The guy who plays the kook?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's not a bad actor, but the role is just not suitable. He's on the screen too much.
Mm-hmm.
He becomes the comic character.
Yes.
So when he's with Robin Williams, becomes the straight man.
Yeah.
See what?
Which he should never be.
Ever.
Yeah. So whoever put him in the show to begin with, shame on you.
This Excalibur or whatever. Yeah.
Or whatever his name is. Or Etsador or whatever. I don't know what his name is.
It's interesting that neither of us picked it up.
Yeah, well, he's so bad. In the first season, I was thinking, hope they get rid of him.
He appeared twice, and I'm going, okay, that's it.
And then all of a sudden...
he becomes almost like a regular.
We put on the fourth season, because that's what the library had here, was the first and the fourth on the shelf, and so I grabbed them. Put on the first to the fourth season, and here's this guy. And he's in another episode, and another, and it's like, oh my gosh, why is he even in one in this? They should have gotten rid of him, realized that he can't be in this show. Anyway.
Now you can have two comic characters and one straight man. Mm-hmm. Living proof, the Marx Brothers. Fact is, when they brought in, what was it, Seppo or something like that, he was another straight man. He wasn't a wacky straight man like Groucho. But you can do it. You got Chico, who's just... One guy once said about the Marx Brothers, two of them, he said, Groucho plays with words, Chico, words play with him. But there are no words for Harpo. He doesn't say anything. He just beeps that horn or whatever and stuff like that and jumps into women's laps. So he's like a baby. That's why he jumps into women's laps. He's a baby. Chico's like a boy, and Groucho's like a overgrown type of man. So that's usually the formula. You get a grown-up and a child, really, not so much an infant. Harper's like an infant. He can't even talk and stuff like that. It's possible to do it, but this with Excalibur, whatever his name is, doesn't work.
Yeah, and Pam Dauber, surely the writer should have realized by now, she's really not an actress. She's just a pretty face. So she can't handle too many acting roles or
drama.
Yeah, thrust upon her. And so in this, they've given her way too much. She can't handle it.
Yep. So she's having to turn Robin Williams down. Proposal for marriage. Multiple proposals. Okay. Then she's not getting along with the dad when she accepts a proposal. On and on it goes. She's a cardboard straight person. And they should have just accepted it for that. But no, they're just calling on her too much. You know, like any time on this show, aside from Jonathan Winters, but before Jonathan Winters comes along, the camera goes dead when Robin Williams is not there. That's even with the bald-headed father. He's not that good an actor. The mother, I can't even recall. Is it a mother or is it a second wife for that guy? I can't. Maybe a stepmother for Pam Dauber. She looks like 5 years older than Pam Dauber. Maybe Pam Dauber was hatched from an egg. I don't know. Anyway, the screen goes dead, and that must have been what I was noticing when I'd every so occasionally dip into the show.
So I guess since we're going from bottom to top, we'll talk about this a little bit. So the very best musical moments in the Crystal Cathedral, and seen on the Hour of Power.
Seen and heard.
I guess they turned. They began a California church in a drive-in theater in 1955 that would eventually become the world-recognized Crystal Cathedral weekly televised ministry. And so there's a lot of musical performers on here, and it's a mixed bag.
Very much.
You have classical musicians, like really great pianist. He's terrific. And then
that's Roger Williams. I think he was classically trained. I think he's the guy that did so many sci-fi movie scores. But I could be wrong. Roger, is it? Roger Williams?
Yeah, you got it right.
Or that mix him up with that other Williams. No, Roger Whittaker. I always mix him up.
The Oak Ridge Boys.
There we go.
So there's a bunch of different stuff on here.
They look awesome. They look like a bunch of burned out hippies. Some of those songs didn't seem very much to do with religion. You know, the Gatlin Brothers, I slept through that one twice, but they do Amazing Grace. I guess that is religious. But Long Black Train is driven by Satan, apparently. Spoiler alert. But I don't know. I don't think my dad would have liked that one very much. My dad was very religious, folks. Baptist, only more so. Oh, yeah. The Oak Ridge Boys, Did I Make a Difference? Hey, Oak Ridge Boys, still alive. Is this dates from 2007 or something like that? When you're singing a song that serious, like Did I Make a Difference in the World or stuff like that, that's kind of like the chorus line or refrain. You don't, it's only maybe a couple of times people broke smiles. Okay, you don't break a smile when you're singing something like that. You stay, to use a theater sort of term, or to use theater terminology, you stay in character. We were noticing that with Elvis. There was a pretty good documentary on him. When he was in Las Vegas, he was smirking and stuff like that during songs like Love Me Tender. You don't smirk when you're singing that unless you're doing an Elvis parody. And that's, I've been saying for a long time now, the greatest Elvis impersonator was Elvis himself in the 70s. Now because usually impersonators are old, in the way, and overweight. And of course, that's how Elvis ended up. But he was even doing an Elvis impersonation when he first started doing the Las Vegas act, 69. or whenever he started doing 68 maybe. So there are some songs in here that just maybe not that appropriate. There are name players here, people that even I recognize, and I'm not into this kind of stuff. I was raised on religious music, done a cappella. The church I was raised in did not believe in instrumental music during church services at all, none. So so they have it Sir James and Jane Galway. So James Galway's famous guy for, what is that, flute that he plays, something like that. The Gatlin brothers are in here, famous. They don't even rate a picture on the front. There's so many famous people like that up here. Alex Cherney, he should be famous. It looks as though he's playing something like the panpipes. What did he do? You Raise Me Up. He looks kind of goofy, like a Russian teenager. But yeah, and the Oak Ridge Boys, they're famous. I think they made the front. Yeah, there's one guy that looks as though he's Methuselah himself. Methuselah survived the flood. If you actually add up the numbers, Methuselah died after 969 years. He, according to a biblical account, if you add up the numbers, he died the same year as the flood. Maybe he died a few months before or whatever, a few weeks before. Roger Williams is here. Natalie Grant. I don't know if she's daughter or something like that of Amy Grant. She's very famous in gospel music circles. And so there are some name players here. Oh yeah, I forgot. Where is he? George Beverly Shea. I've actually got an album by George Beverly Shea. He's very famous for singing gospel tunes and stuff like that. Not that he's terribly good, not that he's terribly bad, but yeah. So this is Robert H. Schuller. From what I think I've seen him lecturing, and strikes me as a scumbag. But like if Jesus, if he saw this Crystal Cathedral, he'd be throwing rocks at it,
you think?
Well,
okay.
What did he say? Sell all you have and give to the poor. I saw people dressed to the nines here. Dressed to the nines, dressed to the teeth. This isn't Christianity, folks, not the way Jesus taught it. Anyway, that place is probably worth millions and millions of bucks. People are dressed like millions of bucks. Doesn't impress me as Christianity. Huh?
The way people put on their Sunday best to go to church. And
The man, you can imagine Jesus walking in the temple wearing a tuxedo, cravat. Yeah, experiment.
Anyway, so it's probably just my thyroid. I expected this was going to be stand-up comedy, and as it turns out, she does some good music, comical.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. All of a
There's
sudden,
one
she
serious
launched.
one.
I thought for a second, after thinking that it was stand-up comedy, she opened with the music. I thought, oh, she's going to do a weird Al Yankovic, and I think she could,
Sort of thing.
because I think she writes her own lyrics.
Well, I don't know.
Well, we'll have to see.
I don't know. I suspect, maybe she gets the credit for it, for writing it and all that, but I suspect it's her preacher husband.
She's got a preacher husband, eh?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
He used to be a preacher. That she was joking about that in the show. She said he's her manager, and so she said, I'm sleeping with my manager, right? And she said, he used to be my preacher, so I was sleeping with my preacher. Right. But, so anyway.
I didn't grasp the import of that, but I grasped it, but not the import. Yeah.
But then maybe they work together.
No problem with that.
That's nice.
And if Weird Al Yankovic works with someone else, that's plenty okay.
Yeah.
If you don't have the chops, don't pretend you have them. Like if you're Led Zeppelin, work with a poet instead of working with what you've got, i.e. Robert Plant. Cream worked at times with different poets, and they were better than Led Zeppelin.
We lay a little snare for you. We thought that
Well, that would have been hard to write the lyrics to.
it was good. And but that's what made me think, listening to that song, the lyrics in that made me think, I think it's her husband is writing it, not her. You know, about the crying and stuff like that and whatever. It's like, I've only heard of men talk about emotional blackmail, like referring to crying that way, you know? I haven't heard women talk about that. But anyway, whatever.
I think men feel challenged by it. Maybe they think that women do it intentionally. I think women are more susceptible to crying. Not by nature. I think it has to do with the position of relative power. They say that Catherine the Great's lovers, men, they were powerless vis-a-vis her. So they at least one of them was one of her advisors. So he's theoretically the second most powerful man in Russia. He'd have crying jags because he had no other recourse, right? So I think it's not so much a question of nature, but a question of relative power. And it wasn't just him, apparently. It was one or two others of her lovers. Interesting. It'd be interesting to interview, if they're still alive, some of Janis Joplin's in-band lovers or whatever. Anyway, the last song was serious. I kept waiting for the Monty Python moment where she
it was too long.
Too long.
And the prayer at the end
was way too long.
It was way too long. I actually like the prayer at the end, given you know, it's just who she is and who her husband is, right? They're putting this
She's trying
together.
to get some support for young women and even girls. And it's hard for young women and girls to understand what the average guy is like. Get ready, because I played soccer with the average guy. I couldn't believe it. So many of them are just scumbags. I'd never want my sisters to marry any of them. I'm not saying all of the soccer players that play best, but the majority. Just that way. Never ever want to see my sisters.
And I think it was before I ate that James was laughing.
The skit called. Yeah. I laughed at a few things. You know. Snickered, laughed. It must have been a belly laugh for you.
No, you said that it was it was a good laugh. You said it was about the donut while she was working out on it.
I think you missed that part. You were out doing something in the kitchen, taking care of the dogs.
I multitask.
I think so she's on one of those walking machines that you see in a Gold's Gym or whatever. But meanwhile, chowing down. It was part of the video. I don't know if it's her or someone else. But chowing down on glazed donuts or whatever. Describing it isn't the same thing as actually seeing it, because you see this person.
But yeah, I was worried that I might have thyroid problems, because I remember I was talking about, are my eyebrows thinner here? And James was like, no, they're fine. But
mine are thinner because you got to be careful, because you can't.
Well, it could be other things too. Could
be other
right?
things. That's from bone marrow cancer.
It may not be your thyroid.
And there's one thing I've got to mention. She had 2 different thyroid problems up on